Good morning, everyone. Um, I just wanted to give another message. I know it's been about 4 days, almost five. It's been a lot of people in the community meet with their covens, um, especially this weekend. Government officials meeting up with their employees and employers, religious organizations meeting um, with the people on their bandwagons. Trying to figure out what they can do to um, lighten their loads. But I am not a load of your laundry. You can't just wash what you've been doing all these years, especially when you came for me, when I didn't send for you, or when I didn't do anything to you. You know, um, a lot of people are trying to come up with plans um, of what they're going to tell me. I don't want your truths because your truths are nothing but lies, manipulations, and lack thereof. Um, a lot of people are trying to hide things, trying to go back in their databases, trying to manipulate or demanipulate things that they had already said or done. But the thing is, you can't go back on what you've said or done because you've said it and you've done it. And it wasn't one time, but it was time and time again. Due to people trying to make sure that I didn't have love, making sure that I didn't have respect, you know, um, knowing that I deserve the most positive things, knowing that not only did my actions speak, my words spoke. There was a balance. There was no inconsistencies when it came to me. You know, um, all those people they sent towards me in my life, all those people they programmed to come have a taste of my energy. They sent to try to confuse me, try to corrupt my mind, body, soul, and spirit. All those people they try to send towards me to make me look like I was unwell, unhealthy, and not aligned. And now they're seeing that all those things that they had done, those are the things that are being done to them. Those were the qualifications they were ever going to meet because these people are senseless. These vessels were programmed and continuously reprogrammed to go disrupt not only me but the communities, go disrupt the world, go to put disruptions where there was no need for corruptions. Trying to infiltrate my destiny. The patterns of my goals. The prophecy of me being here to make sure that I met I met my goals of aligning, coming into alignment, making sure I reach the people I needed to reach. Even if they didn't want me around anyone, I was around those empty vessels. And they failed to understand at that time that I was reaching them too, because I'm here to make sure I reach those that refuse to be reached. And then in all in all of those things they've done, now they're coming to conclusions, concise conclusions, that it was a waste of time, it was a waste of money, it was a waste of energy, because you cannot You cannot conform me to the ways of the world. You can't conform me to your ways, your theories, your stuff they said that are conspiracies. But the thing is, if it was conspiracies, why are you teaching it? Why is it even part of the propaganda? Why do you have people applying for jobs that you claim are conspiracies? Why are you doing all this excavations trying to dig up the past if all those things were nothing but conspiracies and theories? Especially when you're trying to cause confusions, and when people are seeing the truth, we're being looked at as mentally ill, mentally adapt, mentally incapable of making decisions, decisive decisions for ourselves. But you have people on your payroll doing the jobs of the anointed ones, doing the jobs of the chosen ones. But the thing is, we do our jobs with love, light, and peace. We do our jobs for God. See, that's the difference between people going to different sites around the continents and countries, disrupting people's spirituality, spiritual growth, trying to make money off of it, trying to profit off of it. Now that the prophecy is unfolding, now that people are speaking their truth, standing in their truth, and not being shy or feeling as though they're inadequate, they're able to speak up and acknowledge what they've been going through. Not only in this lifetime, but in their previous lifetimes, they're able to be themselves and to grow. And acknowledge their growth, acknowledge who's hurting them, who has hurt them, who has harmed them, and not being afraid to express themselves. And I stand behind you 100%. I'm on your side. Speak up, speak out. Fuck what everybody else is saying, because the only one that can judge you and condemn you is God. And God backs me. So with me backing you, God's gonna back you. Don't ever shy away from your truth, how you feel. If you need to scream, if you need to cry, do that. But always acknowledge that God got you. Don't ever put your faith in man. Men are not dependable. And they weren't never supposed to be looked at as dependents. We were never supposed to be codependent on man trying to tell us who God is, who we are. We know who we are, but we have to be able to want to know the truth. And the truth speaks in actions. The truth is what will set you free. But a lot of people out here rather be chained. Rather walk around being part enslaved and part enslaved and just they rather be half in and half out. You know, thinking that okay, if I can fit with the crowd, then that's good enough. Fuck the crowd. Because when push come to shove, what did you have to do to be part of that crowd? You had to ignore how you felt. You had to disregard your feelings. You had to go through all these trials and tribulations to try to make other people accept you, when still in the end they will never accept you because they don't accept themselves. A lot of people out here trying to keep up with other people, but the thing is, those people that you're trying to keep up with, they haven't even kept up with themselves. They are confused, they are conflicted, they're trying to follow the ways of other people that's gonna lead them astray. Like stray animals, abandoned abandons you when all you want is love. All you want is someone to sit down with you and acknowledge that you're real. Acknowledge that you deserve, and acknowledge that you've been through things. And all you want is someone to hug you, someone to love you, someone to nurture you. But without all that negativity, with all that manipulation, with all that narcissist tendencies that people bring to the table. All that you scratch my back, I scratch your back. There's no need for that. And people are now realizing that they were led astray. They were led down a road that they're not going to be able to come back from. Like I said about these organizations and all these people in communities signing up to be part of some elite form of, form of the shadow government. But the thing is, you were still never welcome. The governments don't even need you. When you're a part of the man's government, you're expendable. But with God, you're not expendable. You excel, you exceed, and you continue to ascend, and you continue to grow. The only thing God expects from you is for you to tell the truth, for you to have a pure heart, for you to love unconditionally, for you to not look down and try to manipulate, or not even try, but to do manipulation, so that you can get above other people. Everybody wanted to step on everybody to get somewhere in life. But you have to understand, man didn't give you life. Without air, earth, fire, and water, you wouldn't even be able to survive. And a lot of people are so codependent and dependent on the government when the government knows that they need God. What does that tell you? It's not a religious thing. It's a spiritual thing. People don't understand that in their past lives, they were different races. They were part of different tribes. They was part of different territories, terrains, and a lot of people are not going to acknowledge that. That's why you have to understand this is not a battle against race. This is about principles and principalities. This is about right and wrong. This is about understanding why the sun and the moon is important. Lessons and blessings. This is about why growth is very important. It's about why the seasons were presented and placed here, so people can start anew, so people can start over and have a clean slate. Because when winter comes, that's the clean slate. Everything dies, but it doesn't stay dead. It regrows when the spring comes. You have a chance to do better. Do good, and for the right reasons. But a lot of people rather spend their time soaking up all the energies of other people, causing conflict and problems and confusions, and then be in the background when they're going through something, blaming God, blaming other people, but not being accountable for the reasons why they're going through the things they're going through. People don't care about other people's needs until their needs come until their needs come up. Then they want all their needs met. But what about those other people that needed you or were needed, but they were shunned, they were abandoned, they were neglected for the love of money, for the love of material things? And I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for those that couldn't speak for themselves, or those that cannot speak for themselves, such as children, such as those that lost their lives due to people's insecurities, due to people's jealousy, due to people's hate, due to people's envies and egos, to step on and knock everything out the way just so they can be seen, so they can be heard, when they have nothing to show or nothing to be heard about. Everybody's trying to sing the same song and dance to the same tune. But in reality, you going looking up to these artists and looking up to these people in the industry when they're looking down on you. They're bragging to you. You're throwing your money and your livelihoods at people that don't even need it. Those same people who had to go through things they forget and forgot where they came from. But they ignore the fact that they can always be replaced back in those same situations. Then they'd be out here begging for someone to listen, to understand. But then when they were in a position to where they was able to help people and give people the inspiration and enlightenment that they needed. Don't wait till you are taken off of your high horse to want to give some sort of remorse or give some sort of, you know, empathy, apathy. You know, now people are seeing that all those things that they were chasing, it was all fake. People don't realize all that material things on this realm is fake. It's artificial. That's why you have AI. All those things are just illusions because when it's said and done, you know, you have to be able to see through all that. Those diamonds and those rings and those necklaces and those jewels and jewelry, all that stuff has been stepped on. Which means it has been recycled after recycle after recycle. Meaning somebody could pick up that and put that on their neck, could wear that. See, when God gives you something, no man could take away from it. No man could hand it off to someone else. It's yours. God is your insurance. Everything with God, you are assured and reassured that things will remain sacred. No one will be able to manipulate or hinder the love God has for you. While people trying to build their kingdom and their status here on earth, this stuff is dead and gone. Now everybody's want to say, oh my God, this world is a stage. It's always been a stage. I said in previous videos, Earth is a slave ship. It's a ship. It's up to you whether or not you want to get off this ship or you want to just stay on this ship and just blame everybody else. Be accountable. If you choose to stay on the ship and live through the eyes of other people, don't blame nobody for your losses or your luggage being lost or stolen. Don't blame nobody. Take accountability. People want to stay stuck in the same negative mentality. They don't want to grow up. They think, oh, you only got to grow physically. No, it's mentally and emotionally. It's spiritually too. It's spiritual is understanding that I need God. Without these elements here, I wouldn't be able to be here. Knowing that, okay, no machine could keep me alive on earth. No machine can take away what God has for me. No form of manipulation can input or deput what God had already in store for me. So while everybody's trying to copy and paste everybody's story, trying to trend when everyone else they think are trending, God doesn't care about your trends because you're not a trendsetter. You're copying off of everybody else trying to do better than everybody else. You're supposed to do your dance for God, for your ancestors, and be authentic with it. Use your gifts in a unique type of way. Not try to reiterate and try to cloak yourself in other people's energy so you can be seen, you can be heard, you can be known. Because at the end of the day, you're not real, you're not authentic, and God's not even going to glance your way. I can assure you that. You're going to be thrown to the side because you're not pure. You're not pure minded, you're not pure bred, you're not original, you know. So a lot of people are seeing that. A lot of people are seeing that all these organizations they got with, all these government officials they got hired on with, or they took on a task that they weren't even privy to. You know, so people need to be accountable for their actions. They do. All these meeting up with your families and your friends and people in the communities and employers and employees and trying to figure out what you can do to undo or unravel the deeds you already done to go in your favor, or to come to me with some type of critique and manipulated information trying to fix your situation. There's no fixing your situation. You already chose your parts, and you chose how you wanted to insert your parts and put your parts together. You already put your stage together. You got your props. You had your people. You had your places. You had your things. Now you want to come forward and present yourself as something that is not, was never part of your ideas. You know, now people trying to go back on what they did, but the thing is, you felt not only was the grass greener, you felt like you had the whole world in your hands. Now look at your world. What do you see? Because I know you can feel it. I know you can feel everything you touch, everything you see, all those things that you stole from me. You feel broken because all that has blood on it. All that has my blood on it. And my blood continuously changes. My DNA. It doesn't stay the same. And when I do go to the doctors, they be always asking me, "Do you want some blood work?" No, I don't. You had enough of my blood. Because I know what you're doing with my blood. You're not just taking these 10 and 12 tubes of blood just cause. You're taking these to send them off. You're taking these so y'all can do spell work. You're taking these so you can drink it. You're taking this so you can get rid of or take my energy from it, or just have some of me so you can take with you. So you can sell it, so you can trade it, so you can place it on the black market or place it on your altars. And it's not going to happen like that. You know. So people will try to get pieces of you. You know. But they had enough of me. They had me. They had so much of me that they didn't even know what to do. They were so doped out from my energy. Now they're going through withdrawal symptoms. Thing is, if you would have treated me right, you wouldn't have had to go through me removing myself from you. I remove myself from all humans. I don't be around people unless I have to be around people. Unless I gotta walk past you. Other than that, I stay to myself. I'm committed to God. I'm committed to the spiritual realm. I seen the physical realm. I don't even really go outside unless I have to. You know why? I could sit in the house and I could hear the fire departments and the ambulance going past and the police flying down the street. I know what's going on. You know, I know that people are getting hit from left, right, up, down, all the way around due to their actions. I can feel people's crying, their tears, panic attacks. But guess what? I send that all back. Don't be panicking now. What you panicking for? You wasn't panicking then. You was all for it, you know. Now you're seeing that all of that stuff you were doing. You see my hands, how pure they are? All that energy that's coming from it. Because my hands I hold a lot of energy. And anything and everything I touch, I make sure I do it for the right reasons. There's no need for me to manipulate or supplement what God had already placed inside of me. My work is for God. My work is for the divine. My work is for the ethers, for my ancestors. Anything and everything I do it gracefully, graciously, with love, light, and peace. There's no need for me to go around trying to manipulate or insert myself where myself doesn't need to be inserted. I'm only going to be around people that deserve my presence. My presence isn't for everyone. That's why I'm not around people from the past. I'm not around people outside. I'm not hanging with people outside because you're not on my level. And when I say on my level energetically, I know where your mind's at, your mind's eye at. I want no parts. You would never sit at my table. When you don't sit at my table, you're not sitting at God's table. So people would know and understand. All those churches you're going to, those congregations that you're congregating with, you're not going to sit at God's table, and that's just facts. You know, people chose to be an Ace of Swords in the reverse. So you're going to take that Ace of Swords in reverse and you're going to take it with the Ten of Wands. And you're going to deal with karma as above, so below. You're going to deal with all those hands you chose to play. You wanted to be a Muppet and a puppet. Here you go. Here's your time to shine. As above, so below. So thank you.